Joining me this evening on Budget Day is Union Commerce and Industry Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal. And Mr. Piyush Goyal, while the middle classes are rejoicing tonight because they've got huge tax reliefs, the question many are asking is, देर क्यों कर दी हुजूर आते आते? ये तो 400 पार वाला budget should have come last year. Why has it come this year?
कभी बजट माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने चुनाव के हिसाब से नहीं बनाए. Budgets are made based on the prevailing situation and a variety of other factors. So while for those, some people it may be an election issue, for us it's a matter of conviction that we have to serve the people of India, we have to serve every section of India. And last year different benefits were given to the middle class. Different tax reliefs were given in a different form. This year it's more direct in terms of massive tax cuts. So I think Prime Minister Narendra Modi has consistently ensured the welfare of every section of society.
Well, Mr. Piyush Goyal, let me ask you very directly. Rahul Gandhi says for bullet wounds, this announcement is merely just a band-aid. Shashi Tharoor goes a step further and says that great income tax relief for those who have salaries, but what about the jobless who have no salaries? How would you respond to them?
Well, I think first of all, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has never done any work in his life, so he will never understand how great a tax relief that Prime Minister Modi and Nirmala ji have given today is to the middle class. For Mr. Rahul Gandhi, probably it doesn't matter, and for him it may be a very small thing or a band-aid. But I'm sure the people of India, the people of Delhi, the common man, the middle class, who's almost relieved of their tax burden with 12 lakhs, 12.75 lakhs for salary earners being now nil tax. It's a great benefit and everybody is welcoming it. As regards Mr. Shashi Tharoor's comment, I think he has not understood the budget only. This budget is so holistically well designed. It looks after jobs in a variety of ways. It addresses sector-specific ideas, toys, footwear and leather items, what needs to be done to make it easier to do business, how startups will be promoted with startup fund of funds too. The effort has been through a variety of measures to make this a budget focus on creating more jobs. Now take tourism for example. We all recognize tourism is the largest job creator in the world. 50 destinations with a focus on marketing those destinations, improving their infrastructure, ensuring even basic things like security and sanitation. I think it's a very well-designed, comprehensive budget which will have a transformative impact on creating jobs, either through manufacturing thrust, either through tourism, either through infrastructure creation or food processing, fisheries. It has a multi-dimensional job creation possibility.
Well, let me ask you, Mr. Piyush Goyal, you're the Commerce and Industries Minister. There is a huge dependence on the private sector to pick up the investment sentiment and go for it. That was the reason for the cut in corporate taxes several years ago that your government really brought in. Private sector investment hasn't really come up to the expectations that the government might have had. What are the reasons this investment is still lagging will this piece actually deliver after the announcements in the budget along with the export sector on which great emphasis has been put in this budget as well? Will these two pieces be able to address the slowdown in growth that we saw in the second quarter this year?
Navika ji, first of all, I do not think that we have not seen the level of private sector investments that was envisaged. Look at all the PLI schemes. Look at the semiconductor support scheme. Look at the amount of FDI that's been coming into the country. Despite COVID, despite two global wars, India has fared quite reasonably well. We continue to be the fastest growing large economy in the world. And even this year, the first 9 months, FDI numbers are very robust. So to my mind, the variety of schemes, the variety of initiatives, the effort to have sectoral promotion, as well as to focus on infrastructure and ease of doing business is giving very good results. I'm sure this budget will also give a great impetus to private sector investment, to manufacturing, monetization of assets. About 10 lakh crores has also been talked about in this budget, which will be plowed back into the economy. Fiscal prudence is evident in the numbers. The government's debt to GDP ratio is continuously falling. Fiscal deficit, even in the current year, is only 4.8 against 4.9 envisaged. Next year will be 4.4 against 4.4 planned earlier. I think in every respect, this is a government that has delivered multidimensionally, and through that delivery has helped the industry and manufacturing sector, has helped exports, thereby creating job and business opportunities.
Mr. Goyal, let me also ask you, there are many memes that are doing the rounds, which make a cartoon of Donald Trump and Indians as understanding कि वो तारीफ कर रहे हैं India की. Actually, he's talking about tariffs. On a serious note, are we worried about the tariff regime that US might announce? They've already begun to announce this against Canada, Mexico, other countries. Is that something that is making markets as well as the Indian economy nervous?
Well, I think every country has a right to determine their tariffs, and the United States has determined certain tariffs on many countries, but not increase any tariffs on India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump share a very, very good equation and friendship. It has been reported that Prime Minister Modi will soon be visiting the US. Logistics and dates are being worked out. So I think we will continue to strengthen and build upon this wonderful relationship and the growing strategic partnership between the US and India. Things will only get better and a plethora of opportunities will open up for India.
Let me also ask you, opening up the insurance sector for foreign investments up to 100%, how much of the liquidity issue will get resolved as foreign companies, insurance companies, bring in more money into the Indian system?
Well, I think this is a long-drawn process. The money will take some time to come in as investment plans are firmed up. They have to deploy that money also. So that may take some time, and I don't think this measure is aimed at only meeting some liquidity requirement. I'm sure the Reserve Bank of India is seized of the market conditions, would have appreciated the massive steps taken in this budget, particularly the tax cut for the middle class, which will inject a lot of disposable income into the hands of the middle class and drive consumption-led growth. So I think insurance opening up is more about giving choice to the consumers, is opening up opportunities for further investment in a very growing, fast-growing sector, and also looking for innovative new insurance products coming into the Indian market.
Let me ask you, there are many who say that आपने, tax slabs तो जरूर कम कर दिए, but only 2% of Indian citizens actually pay taxes. So is this really doing anything for the masses in India, for the large population in India? And they also question the fact that whether it is Manrega or Ayushman Bharat or some of the other schemes, not too much increase in outlays have been made. In fact, in Manrega, it's been kept at the same level as last year. How do you respond to this criticism?
Well, I think as regards the outlays are concerned, the budget is an initial estimate at the beginning of the year. You are jolly well aware that whenever any additional funding is required, whether for Manrega or to support manufacturing, exports, our farmers, subsidize fertilizers, promote skill development, any project which is the need of the hour, which is good for the people of India, Prime Minister Modi has never hesitated to provide funds. Often in the revision, in the supplementary budgets, we have made sure that adequate funds are available for what is good for the people of India. So I do not at all worry about the specific outlays at this stage. I think Prime Minister Narendra Modi is very conscious that he would like to take the country to greater heights as a developed nation, as a prosperous nation. And we are all working with that single-minded objective of Viksit Bharat 2047.
The tariff rationalization, the provisions made for the MSME sector, Mr. Piyush Goyal, do you think this will once again rev up the growth in the economy?
Everything adds up. It's not one step or the other. This budget, and I find this the beauty of this budget, that it addresses multidimensionally the needs of business. I myself run an industry. I've myself been in the private sector. And I recognize how well this budget has been crafted in order to address many areas. Take, for example, tourism. Now, the focus on 50 destinations, working closely with the state governments as collaborative effort, cooperative federalism at its best, strengthening security, strengthening infrastructure, access, strengthening sanitation, making those places tourist friendly, is supplemented with mudra loans for homestays, is supplemented with an effort to promote setting up of new hotels, is supplemented with the Udan scheme too, by which 4 crore passengers and 120 new airport destinations will be opened up and new connectivity medium will be created. Now, when you look at combine all of these together, you recognize that this is a great growth story and this is a great job story in the future. So that is how Prime Minister Modi thinks. He's not unilateral. He's multilateral in his dimension.
Well, in the end, I want to ask you your love for Bihar with all kinds of announcements, including a Makhana board coming up. Is this really posturing ahead of elections? Because you made a Freudian slip when you talked about the tax rates going down. You said across India, middle classes will celebrate, and in Delhi. Eyes on the Delhi and Bihar elections this year, Mr. Goyal?
No, my eyes were on you, Navika ji. You are in Delhi and you pay your taxes in Delhi. Therefore, I made it a point to mention about people like you. You yourself told me your newsroom is ecstatic about the tax cuts. तो मेरे तो आँख के सामने आज मैं जिधर भी जा रहा हूँ दिल्ली के लोग दिख रहे हैं. तो स्वाभाविक है मैं दिल्ली की बात करूंगा. दिल्ली हमारे दिल में है, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के दिल में है और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी दिल्ली वालों के दिल में है. तो स्वाभाविक है दिल्ली की बात होगी. And as far as Bihar is concerned, have you not heard Prime Minister Modi right from 2014 speak about the Act East policy? He has always believed that unless Eastern India and Northeast India develops, the country cannot develop. And therefore, it's a continuous effort. Budget after budget, whether it's the Northeast, whether it's Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Bengal, these have been our areas of focus. If those states don't cooperate and they don't take the benefit of central government schemes, it is to their own disadvantage. On our part, our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, continuously, almost in every interaction, every cabinet meeting, not from today, but for the last 10.5 years, has been guiding all his colleagues, all of us who had the privilege of learning from him, of working under his guidance, that our focus should be that the whole country develops. Our focus should be on the aspirational districts and blocks. Our focus should be in those regions which are left behind. Our focus should be on those who are at the bottom of the pyramid. And I think an extra effort to support Bihar or Assam or any of those states should be welcomed by all. I would like to ask the opposition friends who are criticizing that, are you opposed to Makhana board? Why don't you go and say this in Patna? Are you opposed to setting up a center of excellence or a skill university or developing infrastructure or developing the irrigation for lakhs of farmers of Bihar? If you're opposed to that, please go and tell the people of Bihar that you do not want to see development in Bihar. I abhor and deplore the behavior of the opposition who always speaks with a double fork or a very unholy manner, an anti-development approach of the opposition.
Well, Mr. Piyush Goyal, the opposition will say what it has to say. But if there were two boxes that needed to be ticked, growth, this budget, is it about growth bhi or popularity bhi? Well, then it ticks both those boxes. Middle class is happy and growth, incentives seem to be there. How it pans out over the next 12 months is something we'll all wait and watch out for. But for now, Dil Mange More, it's a happy middle class, and probably, as you say, Delhi election will determine which way this budget has gone as the first litmus test.
Well, I can assure you the country will go in a positive direction. The country will progress. The people, 140 crore Indians, have something or the other for them in this budget. Every farmer is happy. The youth are happy. Our sisters will get much more opportunity. We have focused our effort to make sure that the middle class will get higher disposable income, which will help industry, trade. So in a way, this is a budget which promotes growth, which strengthens the economy and makes the people of India happy. It's a win-win for India.
Well, on that note, thank you very much, Mr. Piyush Goyal, for joining me here on Times Now.